In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the lush greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the one and only podcast to be at, and this is Balls and Tees. I am Tony Tone, the boy with a lot of play, a classic man, and as you know, there's no better place to be than to be here with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to be back on your airwaves, and I hope that you are glued to your seat because the hottest podcast is back. This is season 2, and we are starting off with a bang. I won't be spoiling the beans because we've got a beautiful lady as a guest, very, very strategic, and she's going to be sharing her insights with us when it comes to golf as well as when it comes to the business sphere. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know the drill, this is how we work. I'm going to go for a 2 minute break, make sure that I get myself a very, very cold jug of water so that I can refresh and cool myself down because, as I said, this podcast is so hot, you're going to be sweating wherever you are. If you're in your car, you'll be sweating. If you're out in the golf course and you just happen to listen to me, you will be sweating. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to get yourself ice cold water and make sure that you are in a comfortable position because when we come back, I will be introducing our guest and we'll be getting into the crux of the matter. So let's go for that 2 minute break.
In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the lush greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is the one and only Tony Tone. You are tuned into Balls and Tees podcast, the hottest golf podcast there is in the entire world. As I said, you know we don't just cover South Africa. We are everywhere. We are on Amazon, we are on iTunes, and we are exclusively on our own platform. So if you want to listen to us, you can go to www.ballsandtees.golf. You will definitely be able to catch up with all the episodes that we have. And you can also go on to Spotify. You will definitely catch us there. So before the break, I told you, please make sure that you get yourself ice cold water because it's about to get extremely hot in here. Like I said, I've got a beautiful guest, beautiful voice, beautiful golfing career, and a beautiful professional career. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the one and only Tandega Mkise. Tandega, how do you do?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you. Listen, Tandega, I tried to introduce you as best as I could, but I feel that I didn't do any justice. So before we actually get into any conversation, would you mind reintroducing yourself thoroughly? Let us know who you are. Let us know what you do. Let us know how you actually got into golf as well.
Okay. That's an obvious question that I always get as a woman playing golf. But anyway, yeah, so hi guys. Thank you so much for having me in your platform. I'm Tandega Mkiza from Durban, based in Johannesburg, currently a senior manager at PwC, consulting and risk services practice. And what I do at PwC, I focus on technology risk, governance, and helping clients build trust in their digital transformation journeys. Beyond my role at PwC, I'm also building initiatives that actually connect business and communities, including, platforms for partnership and growth. across Africa, not just locally. So I'm very passionate about creating sustainable collaborations that actually delivers real impact, and I'm excited to actually share some of those. And part of my initiatives outside of PwC is CSG, which is a social golfing platform that actually coordinate monthly socials within the golfers in our school. We also have provincial tournaments that we play annually against other school outside of the province, and we are currently in the process of actually launching our Pan-African tournaments, and we've got access to East, North, and West African markets, obviously including our Southern African market, the Southern African countries. I'm excited about that, but what we're trying to achieve is actually use golf as a catalyst for change and impact, basically. Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So just a quick one, right? Before we get into serious business, how long have you been playing golf? And how did you actually get involved, start getting involved into the sport? Because many a times people would say, no, golf is boring, golf is too slow. So I just want to understand what intrigued you to get into the sport.
Yeah, no, that's a very normal question. So for me, like the nature of my work is consulting, and it
Mm,
requires you to have a little bit of business development because obviously we service clients. We need to build relationships, generate leads, pipelines, and eventually revenue. So I
yeah.
think as part of my business development strategies, I use golf to
Mm,
actually connect to my clients because most of my clients, they play golf. I didn't know
yeah.
anything about golf up until one of the clients that I used to service a few years ago. They will invite me on their golf days, and I will sit there and just watch. I'm like, actually, this
Mm,
looks interesting. The weather is
yeah.
beautiful, the greens look nice, and then I started pursuing the game. But I
Hmm.
didn't just start with playing. I started obviously by going to the World of Golf, practicing, signing up, using their clubs to actually just hit the balls and see how it feels. And I really, really love the sport.
Mm,
So then I started pursuing the game. I think I only started, no, not that I think. I started my first game was in December, 22
mm,
December 2023. That moment, I didn't even have a driver. I've only ever been into the
hmm.
range. It was very interesting, but since then, I never looked back.
Awesome, awesome. I like the bug that catches people when it comes to golf because people would say, nah, man, this thing, I'm not feeling it. And then once you get that one great shot, then it excites you. You look forward to more and you just continue, you carry on. And I like the fact that it also got you. You never look back, you never stop playing.
No, I
So please
couldn't.
carry on playing. And I hope you bring more of your friends and colleagues into the sport. You encourage them to get involved into the sport because for me, it's more than just a sport. It's a lifestyle. There's certain values that one actually learns from the sport itself. And like you said, it's a good tool for business development, which I believe has been working well for you as well.
Everybody has different ways of actually pursuing business because there's so
Yeah.
many ways to it. I love sport. When I was at school, I played basketball. And then,
Mm,
yeah, along the way, I stopped playing basketball because obviously work and time, it's not possible. And then I do
yeah.
gym. I go to gym. Obviously, with gym, you get a bit bored and you need something that's gonna get you excited or something to look forward to. So it's not just about business
Yeah.
development, but it's also your own, it's also my happy place, like where I get my
Yeah.
peace and all of that.
Hmm.
And yeah, the thing is, once you start, like I said, I couldn't look back because, with golf, you play and you always feel like, oh my God, I need to go back. I'm gonna do better tomorrow. Oh, I need
Mm.
to fix this, or I need to fix that. So yeah.
No, 100%. I like your positive outlook on golf. So now, Tandega, let's talk about today's theme, right? Our theme is titled the Fairway Framework. So I just want to get your understanding of what, or your own view, your own opinion of what Fairway framework means to you before we start breaking things down and talking more serious stuff now.
Yeah, like fairway framework for me, it's really what you do on the fairway, it's also applicable in your business or personal life.
Mm,
So the fairway framework actually helps me to outline or plan how I do things, because on the fairway you plan for every shot, you have an objective, you need to
yeah.
be calculative in terms of what clubs you play, what you want to achieve. It's the same in business. So you have a framework that actually guides your decisions,
Mm.
same as on the fairway as on business.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. You know, the way you explained it, it made me understand it better as well.
It's
Yeah.
basically
So
that. Mm,
no, it definitely makes sense. So, I mean, considering the theme, I just want to find out from you, how do you then equate the strategic planning before a business to business partnership to choosing the right club and aiming for the perfect tee shot? So, I mean, you mentioned that you are in consulting. So,
mm,
if we were to say, or we were to look at the critical consulting analysis that happens at
yeah.
the initial stages, if you were to take that and put it into the golf course, how would you then define it?
All right. So I will say that, how do I equate the strategic planning? It's simple. Like, for instance,
Mm,
in consulting, the T-shirt is all about preparation, right? That's when you're
mm,
teeing off,
mhm,
because you need to prepare yourself, take the right club, you've got the tee and everything. You look at your distance, you prepare. So it's all about preparation,
mm,
understanding the market landscape, partner fit, as well as long-term objectives. Same, like I said, like
mhm,
selecting the club, we use structured diligence to actually
mhm,
do our stakeholder alignments and scenario analysis to ensure that the first strike will set us up for success.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Now, le- you'll pardon me, but I love golf so much that every single question that I'll be asking you will be more or less related to golf, right? So I will just put in a touch of golf in whatever question, although it could be business related as well. So
Okay.
just a quick one here. So, in golf, as you play the ball where it lies, unless it's obviously in a hazardous place where maybe it's concrete or it's just right next to a tree, and you might end up breaking your clubs, no?
Yeah, yeah.
So, with that being said, if you were to look at B2B partnerships across diverse African markets,
Mm.
what are the inherent cost conditions or risks you must assess? And how does your consulting service help companies adapt their swing to those conditions? Because, I mean, if we talk about markets, there's
Yeah,
always volatility in different markets.
yeah, yeah.
So I just want to understand how you adapt the principles of golf into your role as a consultant.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting question. So it feels like I'm playing golf and working at the same time. Guess what? This is what you always do. When you're playing with a potential client, you're like, you throw those, you throw those business
Yeah.
conversations, but in a very light manner. So,
Hmm.
so obviously with the course conditions, it's the same. Like, you will assess your risk first. Is it safe to play through this tree,
Hmm.
or do I need to just chip into the fairway? Right? You are
Mm.
assessing your conditions to see what's the right thing to do. So in the
Yeah.
African B2B matchmaking context, those conditions will
Mm.
include regulatory um, unpredictability, because there's always
Hmm.
changes. Oh yeah. So obviously, I was saying, in the B2B matchmaking, like, you will assess the condition before you play your ball as it lies. Is it the safe shot to play, or you want to just take a risk and go for
Hmm.
it? With that being said, you will, the conditions in this context will include your regulatory unpredictability, because there's always
Hmm.
changes with regulations. And then you'll take into consideration the political shifts the infrastructure gaps,
Mm,
and our role is to actually help our clients adjust their swings through governance
yeah.
frameworks, contingency planning, and adaptable operating models.
You're speaking very, very big ways there, but I get the gist of everything. The one thing I just want to ask you is, so with regards to obviously B2B matchmaking, I mean, you get people from different backgrounds, or should I say, entities from different backgrounds,
Mhm.
with different belief systems, with different business approaches. So, do you always try to make sure that two different businesses or two different individuals that you put together are more or less within the same mindset or same framework? Or do you find yourself having to do a mix and match of different clientele bases to try to reach common ground?
Um, so in business, in any business, you always want to reach common ground because we may come from
Mm,
different backgrounds, with different experiences, but what brings us together in a particular business transaction is actually the objective of what we're trying to achieve for that particular deal.
mhm.
Yeah. And
Awesome,
with that being,
awesome.
yeah, I don't know. Are you answered?
No, no, no. I believe your answer was very straightforward and very clear,
Yep.
because the bottom line is all that matters in business, as long as the memorandum of operandi is
Yeah,
in place.
exactly.
Awesome. Now, Tandega, let's just go for a 2 minute break. And then when we come back, we'll be getting or delving more into this serious conversation. Like I said, I just want you to visualize yourself being on the golf course, chatting to a potential client or chatting to a colleague. And then let's make this as fun as possible. It doesn't have to be all intricate and yeah, too serious.
All right. I hear you.
Awesome. Awesome
Okay.
stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're quickly going for a 2 minute break. And then when we come back, we will continue our conversation with Tandeka.
Invisible Inc. Consulting, your gateway to financial success. We specialise in providing the best solutions to manage your finance and accounting, ensuring a better life for you and your business. Our expert team offers top-notch accounting and tax consulting services tailored to various industries, including but not limited to engineering, medical practitioners, in construction, non-profits, events management, attorneys and financial services. Experience the power of our best analytics, backed by a commitment to our clients and a high level of knowledge. At Invisible Inc. Consulting, we strive to deliver the best service you can get, making your financial journey seamless and rewarding. Choose Invisible Inc. Consulting for a brighter financial future. Your success our priority. Please visit us at www.invisibleinc.co.za to reach us. www.invisibleinc.co.za.
In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the lush greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying tuned in. It is the one and only Balls and Teas, the only relevant podcast to listen to in the entire world. Guys, we talking golf, we talking business, we talking camaraderie, we just having fun. And guess what? With all the fun that we're having, we just saying, please, let's use golf to unwind. Let's use golf to network. Let's use golf to expand our businesses. Today, we are joined by the one and only Tandegam Kize, and she is a golfer. She is in the consulting space from a business point of view. And then, yeah, we're just having a lot of fun. We're having a beautiful chat. Now, I'm yet to ask her some of the West golf experiences, as well as some of the best memories she's had on the golf course. So please stay tuned in as I engage with Tandega. Tandega, are you still with me?
I'm here. I
Awesome
hope you
stuff.
I hope
Now,
you only want to hear about my
mhm.
good experiences because I don't know if I want to share about the bad ones.
The funny thing about golf is that your worst experiences actually shape up your best game. Take it from me, for example. The worst experience I've had on a golf course, I think, yeah, it was actually early this year, at a golf day in Johannesburg. So whilst I was playing there, someone hit a ball from behind me, far from behind me, and they screamed fall. The
Oh my
first
God.
reaction that came to mind was drop down. Don't even look back. Don't turn your head, just drop. So I went so quick. Now I squatted so quick that my pants tore on the spot,
Oh my
and
God.
it was very discomforting. So yeah,
Crazy.
it was not a nice sight. And luckily, what my mind told me to do, I did it on time because that ball was heading straight for my head. So it just passed as I went down. So afterwards, I think my game improved. With torn pens, I had to buy new pens
At the
at
pro
the pro
shop.
shop.
Oh my God, that is insane. Yeah. Were your
Yeah.
pants too tight? Like, did they fit properly?
No, no, they were loose
I'm
enough.
teasing
It's
you.
just that I think I think it's just how quick I moved.
Oh,
So I stretched them. Yeah,
you dodged the bullet there. Because, it's
I
better than
really
torn
dodged the bullet.
pants than, yeah, being hit by that little ball.
100%. The thing is painful. It's hit me 3 times already, and yeah, it wasn't a nice experience. But anyway, I was just saying, please do not be embarrassed to share your worst moments in the golf course because everyone has them. I've seen a professional golfer missing a tee off shot, so it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, no. Yeah, if I have to think about my worst moments, there's actually a lot of them. I think the highlight for me, like with ladies' outfits, you've got dresses,
Mm-hmm.
skirts, and then you have long pants.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so this particular day, I'm wearing my long pants because it's obviously cloudy, but for some
Mm.
reason, the zip will just not stay up, right?
Ooh.
And I'm fully
Mm.
dressed, but
Mm-hmm.
every time I check myself, the zip is open. And my peers
Oh
will
my
keep
God.
reminding me, start out your zip. And, one of the guys had to borrow me the belt because they could see that I'm struggling. I had to take out my long thing that I was wearing, like it was cold. It was a bit cold. So I had to cut my
Mm.
jersey, wrapped it around my
Mm.
waist. They're like, no, but it's cold. I'm like, yeah, but my zip is acting up. And someone just took
I'm
off their
sorry about
belt and
it.
they're like, okay, sort yourself out. And then I was able to
Mm.
focus on the game again. But it was tricky. It was affecting me mentally.
No, definitely, and I'm really sorry for having such an experience. But I hope after you got that sorted out, you started playing your
Yep,
golf instead of a disturbed game of golf.
exactly. My natural swing came back because now I was not worried about my zip going off,
No.
and I was the only lady on the four ball. So can you imagine?
Oh
So,
my.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, one
No,
of
I'm sorry
those.
about that. But like I said, each one of us have a lot of embarrassing moments. I mean, we all play to go through all these experiences. That's the nice thing about golf. There's no one who can say that they've mastered it. So there's no one also who can say that they've prevented things from happening. I mean, certain pros, you find them so frustrated they break their clubs, and at that time they are live on TV. So we're watching them. We're like, okay, what's going on? So please do not feel embarrassed about that. It happens, and hopefully it will never repeat itself.
Yeah, no, I'm sticking
Right.
to my usual dresses, skirts, and shorts. No long pants.
Oh my. No, stick to them. Hopefully, nothing else will happen in the gist of the moment. But now, moving right along, Tandeka, I just want to find out. I mean, as you know, in golf, there's water hazards, there's the rough, there's bunkers, and those things they actually represent risk. I mean, they are there to actually shake you off a bit as a golfer. I mean, if you fall into a fairway bunker, it becomes very complex and very stressful for you to actually try to approach the green from that shot if you're not fully confident, as well as if there is, let's say, water that you have to cross. Sometimes it disturbs you mentally. Now, I want to find out from you, if you were to look at the space that you're operating in from a professional level in terms of your consulting services, how do you come across such risks, if there are any, within the business sphere, and what measures do you actually take to mitigate such?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, in golf, we always face those hazards, and in most cases, if somebody sees the bunker and they know their bunker
Mm,
game is not good already, you panic and you try avoid the bunker and you shank, and you are even in more trouble. So exactly. Or you try to avoid water, you end up hitting the tree, and then you go back, and it just, adds more to your problems. So in my business
mm,
world, to actually manage this, we focus on clear compliance checks, background
mm,
checks, testing different
yeah.
scenarios and ensuring that we put in place the mechanisms that can resolve conflicts quickly so that the partnership
Mm,
can stay on the course. There's obviously a
mm,
couple of risks that are, in place when it comes to B2B matchmaking. Yeah. Sometimes you can
yeah.
find that partners might not be pulling into the same direction, or
Mhm.
this political shift, or the shifts in the regulations. Like I said, this always changes. But for us to actually manage that risk, manage the hazards so that you don't find yourself in trouble upfront,
Mm,
you do your compliance checks, you do your
yeah.
all the controls in place to actually manage the risk and ensuring that the partnership stays on course.
All right. So, Tandega, while we're still on risks and hazards, I just want to find out from you, in terms of your golf, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you approach a hole where the green is actually surrounded by water, and then suddenly the green starts looking like it's shrinking or is becoming smaller, and it starts intimidating you? Even in that situation, how do you then reposition your mind to say, listen, let me stick to the game that I've been playing? Or do you then just panic and then carry on as if that will be your last shot of the day? I just want to find out from you, how do you then come across managing such situations on the golf course?
So in every hole, I stick to my basic principles, no matter how
Hmm.
intimidating the hole is. And my first
Yeah.
principle, I stand on the tee box, I align myself, I look at the flag,
Hmm.
I read the distance. Once I understand the distance, I take the club that is accurate for that distance. Now it depends.
Hmm.
It might be windy and I'm playing into the wind and I have to play it, a bit of add maybe a club over. But then I just measure my
Mm.
distance, select the right club, and I hit the ball. And in most cases, I'm lucky. And at times it doesn't work. And you know what they say, the more you play, the luckier you get. So I really don't worry about
No,
the water.
100%.
Sometimes I even say there's no water in front of me. I will even say there's actually no water in front of me. Yeah, and my game
Mm,
on those parties have improved. Yeah, in the beginning I used to struggle.
yeah,
I would blow every party, but currently not.
really.
I don't blow them as
So
much. Yep.
I believe at the moment you're getting your pass, you're getting your birdies.
Well, pairs and bogeys. When I'm lucky, I get a birdie. Yeah.
Ouch.
So
Ouch.
yeah.
No, that's good news to hear. So speaking of, the more you practice or the more you play, the luckier you get. Would you say that would be the same philosophy or concept when it comes to B2B matchmaking in your space?
Well, I don't think lucky exists in business, eh? But the more you play in
Mm,
business, the more you have experience and your work speaks for itself. So it's like the more you play, the more they know of you and your work speak for itself. So we can
yeah.
almost use the same terminology, but not the term lucky, because it's not about luck. It's about your capability, your competencies, your skills, your service offerings, and how you deliver, your reputation as well. So there's a lot of things
Mm.
involved. Yeah.
Yeah. You actually mentioned something very critical in the previous question where you said that, for instance, when you approach those island pathways, you would look at the distance and make sure that you select the correct club. I often hear a lot of people saying that a great golfer would visualize the successful shot. Now, with that being said, when it comes to business relationships, how do you then help two different businesses to actually visualize the end goal or the relationship that you're trying to establish between the two of them?
Okay. So, well, in golf, if you look at golf, having to visualize your shots, right? You have
Mm,
markers that tell you how far you are
mhm,
from the green, right? And that guides you because you can't visualize something you don't
mm,
understand. Before you visualize your shot, you need to know how far you can hit the ball. So in business
mhm,
partnerships, you'll have KPIs which works the same way. They give very clear, measurable
yeah.
milestones so that both partners know how close they are to the shared goals, whether it's revenue growth,
Mm,
market entry, impact outcomes. So that just guides the process because when there's KPIs and then the goals are clear and they're
mhm,
measurable. Yeah.
yeah. All right. No, 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 that definitely makes sense. Now, I just want to find out. I mean, you've played golf, like you said, you play golf, and you didn't want to disclose exactly how many times you play in a week, but hopefully, it's nothing less than 4 times in a week. So,
Stop it. I'm not telling.
uh, no, no, I understand. I understand. I wouldn't even share how many times I play golf in a week, although I don't really play that much. But I just want to find out. Obviously, when you go to any golf course, you would definitely, maybe especially new golf courses, you would do a bit of research to find out how long the holes are, and then also to find out if there's dog legs left or right, and then you would look into the weather to see what the weather would be like on the day that you play. Now, those are, I would presume, or I would take it from my side to say that those are risks that one is willing to calculate. I mean, if you're going to spend 1,000 rands for a round of golf, you would definitely look at what you're getting in return. So I want to find out, from a business point of view, when we talk about calculated risks, especially when it comes to business expansion, would you relate it to be similar to how one would assess risks when it comes to approaching new golf courses, like I said?
Well, I would say it's similar because, you assess it the the same way. But, calculated
Mm,
risk is all about being bold, but you need facts on your side,
mm,
right? It's like trying
yeah.
to aim for a
Hmm.
birdie over water. It looks very risky because you're
Yeah.
like, okay, for this par three, I want to get a birdie, but you've got water in the middle
Mm,
of, in front of the hole, and maybe you have bunker on your left and your right. So
yeah.
all you do, you study your distance, you look at the conditions, you understand your swing, you know that if I swing this way, my ball will stay in the middle, stay on the line, or
Mm,
if I do my shoulder this way. So you do that. Even in business, that means you test the different scenarios, you check your assumptions, you put the necessary safeguards in place before making any move.
mm.
Because
You
before you
know,
make business decisions, you need to actually know, the different scenarios. What are you looking for?
mm,
What's in it for you? You look at the assumptions, you put the necessary safeguards in place,
mhm.
and then you make your move.
Awesome stuff. I actually want to share something with you. You mentioned that, for instance, you would uh, take certain things into consideration when playing golf, and I'm a natural fade when it comes to golf. My swing is a natural fade, so A couple of years ago, when I played, there's a particular course here in Centurion Golf Course, and they've got this long par 3 island hole. I think it's about 250 meters. So I mean, I'm a long hitter as well. So I mean, 250 meters for me, you're looking at around a 4 iron to actually get to that distance. So I would take my club and I'm like, you know what, I'm aiming the right direction, and then first swing,
Then you're afraid.
there I see my ball is in the air, it has the distance, but it then decides to go the wrong direction, right?
Yeah.
Then I decide, okay, let me play again from the tee box. Let me not go and drop, because I believe I can actually hit this green. So I aim more towards the left, do the same thing, and then for some reason the fate just gets worse.
Ish. Oh my God.
Now now the third attempt, I decide, okay, let me then close my club face. Perhaps I will get it straight. So I close my club face, and then there it is, a hook. So
Mm,
I ended up not hitting the green. Now, with that being said, I mean, it's one of those things where you'd say, you know what, I've assessed the situation. I've looked at the possible risks. I've looked at what's possible or what is impossible, and then you find yourself actually missing the goal. Have you experienced such a thing when it comes to B2B matchmaking, for instance, where you're like, you know what, I've assessed these two different businesses and I believe that they would be a great match, but when you sit down with both of them and you try to match make them, you find that regardless of the similarities or regardless of your assessments, you'd find that they still don't gel. And yeah, I don't know if I'm making sense to you.
yeah, no, I hear you. So, well, in the business, sometimes it happens. That's why, like, for instance, things can go wrong, which is why,
Mm,
like I said earlier on, you do your checks in the beginning, and then you know what works, and you know what can
mm,
possibly work or what might not work. But you obviously, when you do this, initial matchmaking in the beginning, you will make sure that you have governance scorecards that will guide, what you do, right? Because then
mm,
even when something goes wrong, there's still something that governs what you do. You do your periodic
yeah.
health checks, dispute resolutions, because sometimes when things are not aligned, when there's misalignment, there can be
Mm,
disagreements. How do you then,
mm,
resolve disagreements? Yeah, so that way, even when the deal, doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, but the partnership is
mm,
still protected or intact, irregardless of this didn't work, that almost worked, this didn't work, But when you are
mm.
grounded in what guides how you make your decisions, and then, yeah,
Yeah.
you might get something out of it.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. That definitely makes sense. I like how you relate golf to business. It comes so natural to you. It's like you do this on a daily basis. You sit and then you're like, this 7 iron, if I'm hitting 850, it means from a governance point of view in business, I can actually do this and that. I like the relationship you actually make between what you love, which is golf, and your second love, which is work.
Second love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, it's cool. So, Tandega, let's go for another 2 minute break. Let's go grab some refreshments. And then when we come back, we'll be just addressing a few more questions. And then that will be the end of our discussion. But I have to say, it has been quite great chatting to you, especially mixing business with pleasure. I always say when we talk business and golf, it's business with pleasure, because there's nothing nicer than playing golf. I always say to everyone who doesn't play golf that they're missing out. Everything happens on the golf course. So whenever I get an opportunity to engage with someone who can mix the two, golf and business, I'm always excited. So let's go for the 2 minute break, and then when we come back, we can wrap up and have ourselves a great evening.
In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the large greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is still the one and only Tony Tone on Balls and Tees. As I said, this is the only podcast you ever want to listen to worldwide. We're talking golf, we're talking business, camaraderie, we're having fun, we're having light-hearted conversations. This is the space where social golfers actually get to express themselves. People who are always in the work environment come here to distress. So wherever you are, however you're listening to me, whether it's on your phone, whether it's on your laptop, whether it's on the radio, please do know that we would like to have a chat with you next. So wherever you are, go onto our social media platforms and touch base with us and tell us that you want to be on the show. I will definitely contact you, and then we can have a beautiful conversation again. So ladies and gentlemen, whilst I'm still here, I just want to share with you beautiful, great news to let you know that on the 19th of November 2025, there is a prestigious golf day by Africa Summit Investments that will be happening at Eye of Africa. So, I mean, Eye of Africa is one of the most prestigious golf courses that we have here in Gauteng. So make sure that you go to the website to actually check what is happening. So the website is www.summitorganization.africa, and then you can get more details there. We also have contact details for Nompumelelo, which is 079 146 4322. Alternatively, you can also contact SIPO on 0607358766, and they can share more details regarding this auspicious occasion that's taking place on the 19th of November. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we've got our guest, and she is still hyped up. She actually wants to go on for another 2 hours because she's excited that we're speaking her language, which is golf and business. So, Tandega, thank you once again for joining us, and I believe that we are ready to go. Let me bombard you with more questions, but for the most, let's have a beautiful conversation. Tandega, you back?
I'm here.
Awesome stuff. So Tandega, during the break, I thought of something. I've been playing a lot of golf with senior individuals, people who are just over 60 into their 70s, and they always talk about cost management or cost correction to me, because they look at me and they like, listen, man, you're still young, you've got energy, you can hit the balls far, but when you get within the 100-meter mark from the green, that's where you make a lot of mistakes. And they said, look at me, I am 72 years, for instance, and I don't hit far, but I plan accordingly. And instead of focusing on long shots, I would rather focus on accuracy. Now, that's where the cost management aspect comes in, to say, if we are on a par four, that intention at the West would be to be on the green with that third shot, but they want to be as close as possible to the pin. Now, on my side, I want to be on the green with my second shot, regardless of how long the hole is. I want to be there on the second shot, and I then three putt and end up getting a par, same as they did, or they even get a birdie. Now, with that in mind, I just want to ask you, Tandeka, I mean, from a business point of view, when we talk about risk management, right? I just want to find out with regards to partnerships, the B2B partnerships that you actually uh, conduct, or the ones that you actually formulate with different businesses. when they start to go off course, or when things don't go the way that you ideally wanted them to go, or whether the partners they don't come to an agreement with certain things, what immediate risk interventions do you actually recommend to get them back on the fairway, if I can put it that way?
Well, that one is straightforward, honestly, because, sometimes things don't go according to plan, but when the partnership goes off track, the first step to do
Mm,
is quickly find out, you know, what has
mhm,
gone wrong. Because you always know when you go into business, something might go wrong because you need to be risk adverse. You would have done your calculated
mhm,
risk and all of that. And sometimes you might find that there's mismatched expectations and maybe weak
mm.
governance, or maybe financial pressure. But
Yeah.
once you know the cause, then we can help the partners fix it. Whether that means
Mhm,
negotiating the terms or tightening the controls or restructuring the deal so it gets back on the course, you figure it out. But
mhm,
once you know, then you put those things in place. At the end of the day, that they
mm,
will get back on the course. It's the same as when you play a nice long drive. It's very long, but
mhm.
it's on the right of the fairway. It's on the tree. What do? You go
Yeah.
behind the ball, you assess what
Mhm,
club do you need in order to get to where you need to
mhm,
be. Do you want to punch back to the fairway or there's a gap
mhm,
or you can just punch? So in most cases,
mhm,
if the gap is not big enough in front of me, there's more problems. I just punch back to the fairway
mhm.
and then I have a clear shot instead of trying to take the long way, take the risk, and stand a chance of hitting the tree and go back 100 meters backwards. So even in business, it's simply that you just check. If it's off track, you find out what
Yeah.
happened. And then once you know what happened,
Mm.
and then you fix. And then, yeah,
No,
part of the
100%.
fixing, you negotiate, you put on the controls, you restructure the deal, get
Mm.
back on the course. Yeah.
You know why I'm laughing is because many a times when we find ourselves under those situations where you are in the rough or there's a tree in front of you, the first thing that comes in mind is all these tricks. You're like, listen,
I'll go for it.
if I can aim 2 feet to the right of this tree and then just hit a hook, I'll definitely pass this. Then before you know it, when you hit that shot, the ball is coming back
Back,
at you.
back.
So
Yep.
I do that a lot. I do that a lot. So I think I will learn today to say, listen, when I'm behind the tree, the best thing to do would be to punch it out, put it on the
Yep.
fairway. Same thing would apply in business to say that, you know what, whenever I come across any form of conflict or any unfavorable conditions, the first thing to do is to go back to my mind map and say, okay, where did we go wrong? And then how can we then fix it?
Yep.
So, I told you that I'm speaking your language today. I'm speaking
I
golf
love
and
it.
business, your first and second love.
My love languages. These are my love languages.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, I, well, going back to, I mean, long drives and cost management as well as cost correcting, right?
Mm.
I want to find out, man. I mean, for me, as we are having this conversation, I'm a very visual person, and I like building puzzles. So when we're talking about business to business connection, I mean, I relate it to a very good drive on my end. And but when we're talking about sustainability and longevity in golf, particularly, we are talking about the putting as well as the chipping and chipping, the chipping and pitching, right? Now,
Mm.
on your end, when we go back to the business sphere, how
Yeah.
do you then ensure that the B2B connections that you create have longevity, or there is continuity when it comes to the services that you provide for those partnerships?
Well, it's straightforward. So, firstly, we embed the
Hmm.
governance scorecard because that guides
Mm,
what we do. Then we'll have our
yeah.
periodic health checks. Everybody knows
Hmm.
where we are, what we're doing. We're checking periodically. And then
Hmm.
this dispute resolutions integrated into our B2B agreements. And then this way, even after the drive, of the deal is struck,
Yeah.
the short game on the partnership, which is the continuity, is still protected. Because then when you embed all of these things, you are safe. So your short game
100%.
partnership, which is continuation, is protected. Because when your governance scorecards are clear, when your periodic health checks are in place, when these dispute resolutions are embedded, and then no matter what happens in the deal, the short game on the partnership is protected.
Okay.
So it's
No,
it's basically that it's a framework.
So
Yeah.
so that framework that you've done, obviously it would be based on research prior to engaging these entities and formulating that connection.
Yeah, you will do your research, you will do your background checks, you will do all of those things, and you know what they're looking for. And then the scorecards will obviously have to speak to the deal at hand. Yeah.
Now, speaking about the deal at hand, I mean, like I said, I'm very visual and I like building puzzles. And the one thing that I'm very good at is analyzing a golf game. Although I'm a terrible golfer, I'm not the best. For as long as I've been playing golf, I'm not the best, but I'm very good when it comes to analyzing the game as well as people's swings, except for my own swing. Now, uh, I just want to say something here to say, when you play golf, obviously you can check the weather in the morning to say, okay, what's going to be happening? Will it be sunny? Will it be rainy? Will there be hail? Will there be a lot of wind? So that you can prepare yourself mentally and obviously make sure that you take the right gear and then you position your strategy thoroughly to say how you're going to approach the entire golf course. Now, the weather would obviously change at certain points in time, and then you get to the golf course, you'd find that perhaps the greens are still under maintenance, right? Which then becomes a challenge for you personally, because now you become handicapped due to the weather or due to the maintenance that's taking place. Your game gets disrupted. Now, if we were to take that same concept and apply it to a partnership agreement, I mean, with a partnership agreement, two entities would then agree to say, this is what we agree upon, these are the terms and conditions, and certain risks will be taken into consideration to say, this is how we're going to mitigate these risks. Now, when you draft that partnership, I just want to find out, how do you then ensure that the partnership is in such a way that it withstands all the challenges that could ever come across the entire partnership as a whole, to make sure that the relationship continues forever, or it remains effective over a long period of time?
Yeah, that's a very handful question. But keyword to my answer there is flexibility. I'll tell you why. You want to make your deal flexible with pricing that can be adjusted, with exit options if things change, and sustainability measures. That way, the partnership will work, whether in both good and bad times. Whether things are good, the partnership will work, and when things are not going great, you go back and see what needs to be adjusted, right? And then
Yeah.
if exiting is a better option, that's also another option. But you want your deal to be flexible, so that when conditions change, you're able to actually make the decision that is aligned with that current condition you find yourself in. Same way as
Awesome.
in the fairways. When you're playing, the weather might change. I always have my umbrella. If it rains, I just pull it out. I don't melt. As long as there's no storm, the game proceeds. But the moment there's a
Awesome.
storm, then it's dangerous. Then we have to exit. You can't hit the club. Same as in business, flexibility.
I was actually going to ask you, what do you do in the golf course if if the weather changes? Do you immediately escape when it starts raining, or do you continue playing up until obviously it is advisable for you to get off the course when there's lightning? So I think
Obviously,
you've already
I answered you. I play up until the bell rings.
ouch. No, no,
Yeah.
no. Now if you play like that, then I think we should play a round of golf. Although the weather at the moment here in Gauteng is quite unpredictable because it's rainy season. So anytime it
Yeah.
can rain, but as long as there's no lightning,
As
I
long
think
as
we'll
there's
continue
no,
playing.
as long as there's no lightning, the game continues.
Mm. Now, now now like I said earlier, I'm still yet to ask you questions about your experience in golf. Obviously, you've already given us a highlight of one of the most embarrassing moments you've encountered on the golf course. But I would really, really like to get a gist of your highlights in the game itself. What were the high moments where you're like, yo, I enjoyed myself or I did great here?
Yeah, no, I do have some highlights, guys. Like last Friday, I
Mm,
played on a golf day. Okay, my handicap
mm-hmm,
index is a bit high because my golf has been not that great. It's currently 25.9. So when I was playing this golf day, I was playing
mm,
off 31.
mm-hmm.
And on this particular golf day, I was on fire. I shot 93. I was
Ouch.
10 under. I had one birdie.
Ouch.
I had one birdie in the most
Hey.
difficult countries, Ebutse. Yes. And then on the first nine, I shot 48. And it was
Mm,
only like
what?
bogeys, and then I blew one par five and triple bogey
Mm,
in one par four, par, and then bogeys, 48. Done. From hole number 10, it was bogey,
mm,
birdie, and then, yeah, and then bogeys, par, and then
mm.
triple bogey, oh, double bogey, because it was a par five. Then it was 45. I shot 93. I've never made so many points. That was like the best game ever. That's like the highlights. I was like, oh my God, I need to repeat this. I need to
Now,
repeat this.
Tandega, you've got to be very careful, right? Because now we will start auditing your handicap.
No, stop it. Wait, guys. I wanted to repeat this, ne? Listen to this. I played
Mm,
this game on a Friday. I'm like, I need to repeat this. And then I've got a game, how to
yeah.
get to Houghton. It's a nice tournament.
Mm,
I'm just coming in as a guest because I was not part of the tournament from the beginning.
yeah.
Well, I got
Mm,
a good football, good players, two old, old people, those ones above 60,
mm-hmm,
and myself and
yeah.
my card partner. I think we're the same age group. I'm not sure. But
Mm,
anyway, this day was not going as great as the other day, but I was still number one
mm-hmm,
on my football. So when we started, I was struggling. I think it took me long to warm up. I think I blew like two holes in the beginning. Then after that, it was pa,
mm.
pa, bogey, bogey. Now the old people are like,
Ouch.
hi, okay. The more she plays, the better she gets. She's dealing with all of us here. I'm like, I laughed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, this
But,
girl, she's playing of 31. And now they start asking me, oh, so what do you do for a living? When are we playing again?
mm,
And I did win on that football. I
oh, wow.
finished five over. Yeah, so
Ouch.
it was five
No,
over, but it was
Tandega,
still a win.
like I said to you, you have to be very careful. We are going to audit that handicap. By the end of this year,
Oh,
it will
wow.
be way below 20.
Yeah, no, I wish, sometimes I play very. So what happens? Sometimes I toy a lot and I play courses I'm not familiar with. And then,
Mm,
it's a combination of, golf and fun, and it's just a lot. And then I don't play so great, and then
mm,
I'm blowing, or that's how my handicap ends up being the way it is. But when I come back to my
mm.
normal courses, home courses, familiar grounds,
Yeah.
then I play well, and then yeah. But anyway, let's see how the audit goes by the end of December.
No, no, I believe that it would have improved drastically as long as you continue playing.
Mm.
And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to a game with you. Please do not what do they say in English? Do not surpass the master. I've played this sport for so long, but yeah, you would say a different story when you play with me.
I'm not judging.
Yeah. But yeah, Tandaka, it's been fantastic chatting to you, and I really enjoyed my time. I believe that our audience enjoyed that time listening to you, and thank you for actually enlightening us with your expertise, knowledge in business to business matchmaking. I believe that all our audience have learned a lot about business to business matchmaking. And if there's anything that I would like to ask you is this: 19th November, Eye of Africa, Africa Summit Investments. There is a golf day. Hope you'll be coming through to join us and have the best time of your life. I mean, Eye of Africa, it's actually, I think it's one of the long courses that we
Mm.
have here in Gauteng as well. But it's a very beautiful golf course. So I look forward to seeing you there. There will be a lot of businesses involved, or business people
Yeah.
rather, in that space. So I believe it will be an opportunity for you to actually uh, do what you do best, which is
Yeah.
B2B matchmaking.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll be happy to be there. I look forward to it. I'm sure that it will be beneficial to actually, yeah, participate in a golf day.
100%. So, with that being said, Tandaga, let me love and leave you. Please have yourself a beautiful evening and make sure that you continue playing golf. One other thing, please do not be embarrassed with those embarrassing moments in golf. It happens. It's just normal for all the golfers to actually go through some form of embarrassment. So, next time when someone asks you, what's your most embarrassing moment, just
Own it.
just make fun of it, and say, you know what, I had a hole in one. There's nothing more embarrassing than that.
Yeah, right.
Awesome stuff. Now, it's been great having you. So thank you so much. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our show. It's the one and only Tony Tone. Make sure that you tune in every single Wednesday. Balls and Teas, as I said, we are available on Spotify, Amazon, and on our own platform, www.ballsandteas.golf. All the episodes are there. And listen, I am so happy to be back, to be on your airwaves. Please, 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 please engage with us on our social media and make sure that you raise your hand to be on our show. I'd love to chat to you. Yes, you don't even look sideways or ask yourself questions. I'm talking to you. I'm looking forward to having a chat with you and having you on our show to make sure that we understand what's happening in your world. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is a Wednesday evening. And like I always say, the weekend starts today. For those who are working on Thursday, good luck. And for those who are working on Friday, please come and consult with me. I'll teach you how to start your weekend on a Wednesday. Have a great evening. Then we'll chat later.